John chapter 9 is entirely about this man that was born blind that Jesus met, and he performs this miracle on him. And I'll let you read that for yourself. But Jesus, by the way, he says, while I am here in the world, I am the light of the world. I think that was a little bit of a pun, because now this guy can see, right? So you think about light when you think about the ability to see. But I'll let you read this story of the miracle. It's a great story, but what I really want to get to is what happened after the story, sort of the fallout of the story, because as you read further, it turns out the Pharisees are questioning this guy about the miracle, and the questioning is interesting. They're trying to dig into this guy and why he was blind and whether he really believes in Jesus and all that kind of stuff. But I love how the man responds to them. He said, listen, I don't know whether he is a sinner or not. They're trying to get him to say that Jesus wasn't really God, that Jesus was a sinner. He says, listen, all I know is this: I was blind and now I can see. Man, I love that verse. How powerful is that? This blind guy was no expert. He was no theologian. Jesus didn't come for experts and theologians. He came for regular people. And so Jesus heals this regular person, and this interplay between this regular guy and the spiritual elite is really funny, and it's really interesting. Again, you'll read that on your own. But at the end of the chapter, Jesus meets the guy again. It says, when Jesus heard what had happened, he found the man. And look at what he said to the man. Do you believe in the Son of Man? Now, what's interesting here is that Jesus had healed him at the beginning of the chapter, but he never shared anything about belief or about who he was. He's doing it now at the end. And the man said, well, who is he? I want to believe in him. And he said, you have seen him. He is speaking to you. And then the guy says, yes, Lord, I believe. And he worshiped Jesus. And so just notice that this whole thing is about who this man believed that Jesus was. I don't know how you first encountered Jesus, but the real question is, at some point in your journey, have you made a personal response of faith like this guy does right here? Again, we call that getting to your defining moment. It's important that you get to your defining moment. It's not as important what Jesus has done for you. I mean, he can do some pretty amazing things in people's lives, and that's all wonderful. But you know what Jesus really wants? He wants you to believe in him. He wants you to have a personal response of faith in Jesus Christ. Again, we call that getting to your defining moment. And this is what this guy is doing in essence right here. Jesus summed it up here in verse 39. He said, I entered this world to render judgment, to give sight to the blind, and to show those who think that they see that they are blind. So just so you know, he's talking about, I came to anyone who's willing to recognize that they don't see things right, the blind. And I want to show them that they can see now. And those who think that they can see, like the spiritually arrogant, he says, I'm going to show them that they're really blind. And that's really what he's doing here in the book of John, is this interaction between regular people who want to receive the message versus these spiritually elite Pharisees who are arrogant and they think that they know it all. So remember that in your pursuit of God, as you're digging into sort of seeing the world the way Jesus wants you to see the world, and trusting in him instead of trusting in yourself. Just remember that if you're willing to see it his way, he will change your world. But if you're going to just stay stuck in your old way of thinking and living, then he can't help you. So anyway, you're ready to read John chapter 9, and we'll see you tomorrow for chapter 10.